You might have heard that newspapers are dying, but let's get the real story. The real story is North Dakota's newspapers are alive and well. Consider this: a full 8 out of 10 adults in North Dakota read a local newspaper. That's about 450,000 people every week. And it's not just older people. 75% of young adults regularly read a newspaper.
I think the popularity of the newspaper is coming back. I think when we see a real influx of subscribers, the younger subscribers, it's when their kids become active in school and they become involved in sports and stuff. But that 25 to 30-year-old demographics is the group that we're really starting to see get involved with the newspaper and subscribe to the newspaper and get excited about the newspaper.
The real story is that North Dakotans from all walks of life know one source will always be there to share ideas, offer constructive criticism, examine difficult topics, share accomplishments, remember loved ones, experience setbacks, and revel in victories.
The role of newspapers today hasn't changed that much with technology. I see our role as transforming and connecting communities. I think of the 50-year-old man that reads the newspaper, wakes up in the morning, and he reads a story about a health screening that's going on in his community. And that day he goes in and he decides to get his health screened, and we change and transform his life.
The real story is that newspapers encourage and engage citizenry. We know that because 9 out of 10 believe state and local governments should publish public notices in the paper. And they say they likely wouldn't read them if they had to search for them on government websites, because going to the government websites is inconvenient. We know too that an engaged citizenry leads to a vital community.
It's our job to be the public's advocate and to be the watchdog of government. Even in a small town like Crosby, you have people who are elected to office, maybe something a little embarrassing happens, and the temptation is there for them to try to sweep it under the rug. They might break the open meetings law or decline to give you a record. We've had to file those kinds of complaints, and it's important for us to do that because if we don't do it, there's nobody else who will.
The real story is that all of this means big business for advertisers. This year's research shows that more than in any other medium, ads in newspapers turn readers into buyers.
Newspaper advertising works for businesses because it's really about getting their message out there, and we're no longer just selling advertising, we're selling solutions. We're helping them grow, we're helping them tell their message and connect directly to the consumers. I think that it works for the consumer because it's just the circle of information. It's kind of like the circle of life. We're just constantly feeding them information. They're going out and buying based on what they've seen in the newspaper. And, you know, again, keeping that circle of life and the buying-selling relationship alive.
North Dakota's newspapers have been keeping communities vital for 150 years. In that time, no one has provided the local content that newspapers have. From print to mobile to online editions, technologies and fads and fancies have come and gone, but North Dakota communities have counted on one constant: newspapers. Yesterday, today, and tomorrow.